Hi there, welcome to my channel. Today I have a really fun video. I recently decided to do some experimenting with natural dyeing with hibiscus flowers and red onion skins. So this video is just going through my very first experience with natural dyeing, and you'll see how it worked out for me. Alright, so the fabric is going into the washing machine. I'm gonna wash this with hot water and laundry detergent just to get any sort of chemicals or anything off of it that they put on it when they were manufacturing the fabric. And this is 100% linen fabric, so it's probably going to shrink, but good to do that now. So I'm going to toss this in, throw in some laundry detergent. Maybe I should have used the delicates. Oh well. We're going with this. Then I'm just going to run this. I'm going to wash it and dry it, and then I'll come back to you when it's done. I end up drying this because I'm just going to put it straight into my dye pot wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to dye about, I think, 40 or 50 inches of the fabric because in case it doesn't work out, I don't want to waste all 3 or 4 yards or whatever this is of fabric. I'm just going to cut it about 45 inches long probably. I'm just measuring this really roughly. It's not going to be exact or anything. So I'm going to put this back into the dryer. So I can use it for a different project or something else. So then I'm just going to use this bit here that I just cut, and I'm going to dye this. I'm just going to rinse this with cold water, and then I'm going to put it in my dyeing pot. Not really sure if it actually has to be rinsed, but just thought that's what I would do. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the fabric into my pot. All right, so now I'm just going to put some water in this pot, and I'm just going to fill it up enough that it's covering my fabric. That looks like enough. So now I'm going to put this back onto the stove. All right, so I have my fabric in the pot. The pot is on the stove, and now here's the other stuff that I have. So I'm going to be using hibiscus flowers, dried hibiscus flowers. So I'm hoping that this is enough. I'm probably just going to dump the whole thing in there, to be honest with you. I have no idea how much I should be using. And then these are what I'm going to use as my mordants, which is just something that you put in with your dye in order to make sure that the color will last through when you like wash it and stuff. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill this measuring cup with 1 cup of hot water, and then I'm going to mix in my alum, which I'm going to do, I think, 3 tablespoons of alum. And, you know, maybe I'll put 2 cups in because that seems like a lot to mix in. Okay, so I'll use this one. I'll fill this with 2 cups of hot water, and then I will dissolve 3 tablespoons of alum and 1 tablespoon of cream of tartar into my water. 2 cups of hot water. So now let's put in the alum. There's 3 tablespoons. And then I'm going to put 1 tablespoon cream of tartar. Now I'm just going to dissolve this in here. That looks pretty good to me. So now I'm just going to dump this and this into my dye pot, and then I'm going to kind of stir it in and go ahead and turn the burner on. I'm going to turn the burner on. I'm going to go with right between 3 and 4. I just want it to simmer. I don't want it to boil. And then I'm going to dump in my dried hibiscus flowers. That seems like a lot. And then I'm going to dump in my mordant. There we go. All right. Now I'm just going to kind of mix this stuff with my wooden spoon. This water is already turning a really nice color. Look at that. And it's not even hot yet. Okay, that works for me. So now I'm just gonna wait for this to simmer, and then I guess I'll just simmer it for an hour or so. So I will show you how it looks when it starts simmering. It appears to be simmering now. Not really sure if that's a simmer or a boil, but I'm hoping it's a simmer, and I'm gonna try to keep it from boiling too much. I'm also not really sure how to keep the fabric down in the pot. It seems like now that it's simmering that it's kind of like getting air in the fabric and then it's like puffing up out of the pot, but I think I'm just gonna like stir it now and again, and I'm gonna just let this simmer for an hour. This has been simmering for about an hour, actually about an hour and a half. So I turned the burner off, and now I'm just gonna like try to get the air bubbles out if I can. I don't know. I might like put something heavy on it to try to keep it pushed down. It looks like that's kind of keeping it in the dye. So now I'm just gonna like put the lid back on, and I'm just gonna let it sit like that for another 5 or 6 hours or so, and then I'll come back and see how the color is developing and go from there. I kind of checked it throughout the afternoon and evening yesterday, and it wasn't really taking color very well, so I decided to just let it sit overnight, and it still doesn't really look like it's taking its color very well, but I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it out because it's been in here for like, I don't know, 15 or 16 hours now. So I'm just gonna pull this out, and you can see, I mean, it's got some sort of pink tint, but it's not great, so I'm not really sure what happened, but either way, I'm gonna pull it out and put it in the sink, and then I'm just gonna rinse it out with cold water. I mean, it's kind of pink, I guess. Maybe I just thought it wasn't pink because it was in the pot that was really dark red. All right, so I'm just rinsing out all the flowers now. There's flowers all over it. Alrighty, that works for me. So I'm gonna go hang this somewhere outside and let it dry, and then I'll bring you back to see what it looks like. It's pretty much dry, and here's kind of how it's looking. It's actually more pink than I thought it would be. So yeah, it's kind of a nice cool tone, light dusty pink. So I think now I'm just gonna run this through the washing machine and the dryer, and then we'll see how the color holds up in the wash. How sad is this? It looks like all the color was lost in the washing machine. So that is super sad. And you know what's even more sad is even after washing it, it still smells like hibiscus flowers, but all the color is gone. So I'm really not sure what I did wrong, because based on everything that I've been reading about doing natural dyeing, the alum and cream of tartar should have made the color last through the wash. So I'm not really sure. The only thing I could think of is maybe I need to use like my gentle detergent on it rather than regular detergent. Or maybe I needed to let it sit longer before putting it in the wash. Or I don't know. The other thing I thought was maybe I needed to actually bleach the fabric first, since this is undyed. Maybe the color would hold better if I had bleached it so that it was white before I dyed it. I'm not really sure. So if you have any ideas on why this might not have worked, then do let me know. But I think for now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try a different kind of dye because I'm out of hibiscus flowers. I think I'm going to try red onion skins and see if that works better. I don't know. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try dyeing it again with red onion skins and we'll see how that works. Okay, so since the hibiscus flower dyeing was a massive fail, we're going to try these red onion skins and see how that goes. So I think this time I'm going to actually put my onion skins here just in water and simmer them, and then I will add my fabric after that. Or this is the dried skins of 5 giant red onions. So now I'm going to just fill my pot up probably like 3/4 of the way full with water, and then I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm just going to let it simmer for probably an hour or so, or basically just until I like the color of the water. So yep, I'm going to fill this with water, simmer it, and then we'll see how the color starts to develop. It's about 3/4 of the way full, so I'm just going to kind of like mix this in a little bit. Make sure that all of the onion skins are soaked through. Now I'm just going to turn my burner on to medium and then put my lid on. And I'm just going to bring this to a simmer. Pot has started simmering, so it's already getting a really nice dark purple color. So I'm going to let this go for probably another 45 minutes or hour or so. Skins have been simmering for about an hour, and it's got this beautiful dark purple color, so I'm really liking the color. So I think what I'm going to do is turn it off now, and I'm just going to kind of pull out the onion skins with a spoon, a slotted spoon. There's still a few chunks in there. I'll probably keep getting a few more out off camera, but now I'm just going to pull this off of the warm burner and just let this kind of cool a little bit before I put my fabric in. Bath has cooled for a while. It's kind of lukewarm now, and I have here my alum cream of tartar mixture. It's the same as what I did last time. And then I'm just going to mix this in. And then I'm going to just rinse my fabric in warm water to get it kind of to the temperature of the dye bath, and also get it soaked before I put it in there. My fabric is warm and soaked, so now I'm just going to throw it in here. Once again, I'm just kind of trying to hold the fabric down into the dye with these kitchen utensils. So now I'm just going to let this soak until it starts to take on the color that I want. So I have no idea how long that's going to take, but we'll see. Alright, so this has been soaking all night. And I'm not really sure how much color it's really taken on. I guess we'll see once we get it out of the pot, but I am am starting to think that maybe I should have bleached the fabric before trying to dye it, since I think starting with a white fabric would be probably better than this natural tan color. So I'm just going to take this out of the pot and hang it up somewhere outside so that it can dry. I'm kind of thinking that the dye might have actually turned it kind of a darker yellowy orange color, which is really weird because the water in the pot was more pinkish purple, but I think it looks more yellow than the actual natural color. So that's interesting. So we'll see how it looks when it dries. It appears that my red onion skin bath actually turned my fabric yellow. So now it's kind of like a yellowy mustard color. So this is the dyed one, and this is the undyed fabric. So I definitely think that next time I should probably bleach my fabric before I try to dye it. And it's also really blotchy, so I think that I probably need to mix it better as it's soaking, because I kind of just let it sit, but I think it needs to be occasionally stirred so that the color can cover the fabric more evenly. But I'm not mad at this color, it's just not what I was expecting. So now I'm gonna put it in the wash and we'll see if it's still yellow when it comes out. It's out of the wash and it's still got color, so I'm gonna take this as a win, even though the color is not what I expected it was going to be. I don't know if it's because I used the sweet red onions instead of the regular red onions, and maybe they have more of a yellow undertone that I was not aware of, but either way, I'm not mad at the color, taking it as a win. I'm probably going to make some shorts out of this, even though it's blotchy. I think it just gives it kind of a nice worn look. So yeah, I might do another video or two on dyeing just as I kind of experiment with it and try to figure it out. So do let me know if there's anything you want me to try dyeing, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.